let's begin with a short conversation on what is exponential technologies. We've talked about this before, but repetition is the mother of retention and learning. And so exponential technologies are technologies that are doubling in power. They're not linear. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. It's this doubling in power that is truly differentiating these technologies than anything else we've ever had. And you'll remember that we've talked about Moore's Law, that Gordon Moore, back in 1965, writes this very famous paper that says, hey, the number of transistors per piece of silicon has been doubling every 12 to 18 months, and it's going to continue. And that's continued for 50 years. So computers have been on this constant tear of increasing capability, price performance capability, and what's riding on top of those increasing computational powers are a whole slew of exponential technologies. I'd like to tell you a story, and it's a story that takes place around 2008. I was at one of the founding meetings of Singularity University. And at this meeting were the three guys who started Siri. This was before Siri was sold to Apple, and I was in a conversation, and I always love to know the origin story of an entrepreneur. How did you start this? Where did it come from? Has it met your expectations? And one of the things that, it was Tom Gruber, who's now the CTO of Siri at Apple. I remember him telling me this. He said, when we started Siri, the technology to create the vision that we had did not exist yet. But we were cognizant, we were watching the exponential growth of particular natural language processing, bandwidth, and processing speeds, and we predicted that in 3 years' time, the capabilities would be there for us to actually create Siri. And I never lost sight of that idea. In the sports analogy, it's skating to where the puck is going to be versus skating to where the puck is today. And they were skating to where the puck's going to be. They built a product or a service based upon what was going to exist in 3 years. So when they launched it, it was at the cutting edge versus building something based on what exists today that 3 years from now is old hat. So what does that mean? It means that faster, cheaper computers are effectively driving constantly a whole slew of exponential technologies, networks, sensors, AI, computation that we covered in Module 4, and what we're going to be covering in this module number 5, robotics, 3D printing, augmented, virtual, and mixed reality. And you can be an expert, and I know many experts in any one of these, but that's not enough. It's the combination of these technologies, it's the recombinations, it's the unexpected convergent consequences when you combine AI and robotics and sensors and get something that was previously not possible. It's the new business models coming out of this. So as you're watching these videos, I want you to be thinking about, how do I combine what I just heard with what I've been thinking about in sensors or networks or 3D printing? So in your mind, you want to play jazz with these technologies. What new business models are possible? It's going to be an extraordinary conversation. So in this module, we're going to be covering robotics, the history of robots, industrial, professional, personal robots, telepresence robots, drones, autonomous cars, all of those are robots. We're going to be going into digital manufacturing, also known as 3D printing, about the technology, the materials, the resolution, the scanning, the ability to digitize and manufacture anything. And then finally, a deep dive into virtual, augmented, and mixed reality, the hardware and the new business models that are emerging. It's going to be a lot of fun. Excited to go through this with you and be your guide on this amazing field of exponential technologies.